Imagine a murder case where the victim herself is said to have helped solve the crime, months after her death. In 1977, a quiet Chicago neighborhood became the center of one of the most unusual criminal investigations in American history. A case involving arson, robbery, a stalled police investigation, and claims that a dead woman identified her own killer. Today, we're diving into the case of Teresita Basa, separating documented facts from paranormal claims and leaving the final judgment up to you. Teresita Basa was a Filipino immigrant living in Chicago, working as a respiratory therapist at Edgewater Hospital. Friends described her as intelligent, reserved, and deeply dedicated to her work. She lived alone in a modest apartment in the Lincoln Park area and was known for her quiet routine. On February 21st, 1977, she spoke with friends on the phone during the evening. During one call, she mentioned she was expecting a visitor later that night. It would be the last time anyone heard from her alive. Later that evening, neighbors noticed smoke coming from Basa's apartment. Firefighters forced entry and discovered a disturbing scene. Teresita Basa had been stabbed in the chest with a kitchen knife. Her body partially burned beneath a mattress that had been set on fire. The apartment appeared ransacked. Investigators quickly determined that 1, the fire was intentionally set, 2, the murder occurred before the fire, and 3, there were no signs of forced entry. This suggested the victim likely knew her attacker. Police believed robbery was the motive, but there were few leads. Aside from some missing jewelry and scattered belongings, detectives had almost nothing to work with. So, months passed, and the case went cold. About 6 months later, something happened that would make this case internationally famous. A coworker of Basa's, named Remy Chua, reportedly began experiencing trance-like episodes, witnessed by her husband. During these episodes, she allegedly spoke in a different voice and claimed to be Teresita Basa. According to the Chuas, the voice named a man, a fellow hospital employee, as the killer. It also described stolen jewelry that was given to the killer's girlfriend and other details of the crime. Now, here's an important point often lost in the retellings. Police did not treat these claims as supernatural proof. Instead, detectives treated the information as a tip, similar to any anonymous lead, and began verifying whether any part of it could be confirmed through any real evidence. Detectives re-examined a respiratory technician who had worked at the same hospital and had previously interacted with Basa. They learned he had visited her apartment before and may have even been expected that night. The breakthrough came when investigators located jewelry belonging to Basa in possession of the suspect's girlfriend. Family members positively identified the items as Basa's missing property. Confronted with this evidence, the suspect eventually confessed. He admitted that he went to Basa's apartment intending to rob her, stabbing her during the encounter, stripped the scene to mislead investigators, stole jewelry and money, and set the fire to destroy the evidence. The case went to trial and quickly became known as the Voice from the Grave case due to intense media attention. The defense challenged the investigation, arguing that paranormal claims had clearly influenced police actions. The first trial ended in a mistrial, after jurors could not reach a unanimous verdict. However, prosecutors still had physical evidence and a confession. Facing a second trial and the possibility of a much longer sentence, the defendant pleaded guilty in 1979 and received a prison term. And this is where the mystery begins. Supporters of the paranormal interpretation believe Teresita Basa somehow communicated through her coworker to reveal her killer. Skeptics argue alternative explanations. Subconscious knowledge passed through workplace conversations, coincidence amplified by media coverage, or psychological trance behavior. What makes the case unique is that both realities exist side by side. A completely conventional criminal conviction and an origin story that many people still consider unexplained. What do we make of the Teresita Basa case? Did a paranormal experience guide investigators towards justice? Was it psychology, coincidence, or information shared unknowingly? Or is this simply an example of how human storytelling transforms real events into legend? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think the voice from the grave played a real role? Or was it just the catalyst that made detectives look in the right direction? Let me know your perspective in the comments. And if you enjoy deep dives into unusual true crime cases where fact and mystery sort of collide, consider subscribing for more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next case.